Seattle at Detroit, Monday Night Football. Let's get after it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Craig Ben, aka Cash Cake, and I'm back with video number 2. You guys got it there, 600 likes by noon, so I'll do my part. Knock out 3 more picks for you here. Again, on an epic 17-3 run on our last 20 picks given out on these PrizePicks videos. Hopefully we can keep the train rolling. Love having 2 football games on Monday Night Football. And if you don't have that PrizePicks account, you want to join along with the fun, use that code CASHKEG. Play $5, get 50 instantly. It is that easy. And hey, let's get after it. Let's talk some football. Let's go. All right, this video, again, we're going to do Seahawks at Detroit. Should be a good one out of the 2. Really, the first one just depends on how Tyler Huntley plays. But this one should be more fun. Competitive game, higher scoring. This is the one I plan on watching. I'll have both of them up, but I'm more excited to watch this one. Got 3 plays for you here. We'll jump first onto the on the Seattle side, and I've talked about this in a different video, but we're going to go right back to it. Geno Smith, we're going to go passing yards, more than 248.5 passing yards here. Again, it's a more of a pass funnel offense. That D-line, that they're just really good against the run, so I don't want to have any part of this. This line opened up at 241.5. It's already moved 7 yards up here. I'm perfectly fine, honestly, taking this thing up to about 255. So if this does move by the time I post this video, 255 is about where I would get a little bit more nervous of taking it. If you want to look at pass completions, I have no problem there. Fantasy score. But we're going to go yards. Always, if you want to feel safe about it, you can always pull the Goblin out at 224. But I don't think there's that much difference, honestly, from the 224 to 248. So I would just go the 248.5. If we see what we did last year against them on September 17th, he hung 328 of the yards on Detroit last year. Last two games, he has had 327 and 289 yards. If we look at the matchup against Detroit, they're 21st in passing yards allowed in the NFL. And again, they're just more of a pass funnel. He's going to throw the ball. That's how I'm going to build a lot of my plays today. Going light, not going to go heavy on a 2-gamer like this, but I still think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we can attack it this way. So play number 1, Geno Smith, higher than 240.5 pass yards. And hey, if you're not a Daily Edge Sports subscriber, man, I don't know what you're doing. We've had a great weekend. This is on Sunday. Gave out these for our elite subscription service. Had a couple nice big hits for NFL, over on Underdog as well. College football on Saturday, we had some nice hits as well. And Friday as well. It was been a great run Friday through Sunday. Hopefully to cap it off here on Monday with this 2-gamer. So again, if you want to head over to dailyedgesports.com, hit that subscribe button, get elite membership, and get access to all these picks. These are exact slips that we're giving out in our Discord. So one pairing we're going to have with Geno Smith that we're going to go is we're going to go JSN. That is Jackson Smith and Jigba. And this all, if you pull up any of his stuff here, look at receptions. He only cleared it that one game, right, against New England. So everybody's going to look at that and be like, I don't want any part of that. Same thing with yards. All these, he had just that one game. Well, I'm looking at this more of matchup based, right? If we go over to Pro Football Focus and kind of look at matchup wise, JSN works out of the slot, and Detroit is like one of the worst teams. They give up the highest target share to receivers out of the slot. So that's where I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking at them taking advantage of that situation. So I'm okay with you want to go yards. Yards moved up quite a bit, so I'm not super excited about the yards for him. I really wanted to get that at a little bit lower number. But I think fantasy score is where I want to be. I think they're going to feed him pretty heavily in here. Again, if they're, they know that they're giving up the highest target share. They don't want Metcalf to beat him over the top. Lockett's going to they just have a lot of weapons on the outside. Their wide receiver crew is fantastic. And, even though that JSN had a bad week against Miami, they really didn't need him. I mean, Miami is horrible. I think he's going to come back and bounce back here. And just a great matchup for JSN. So we're going to go more than 11 fantasy score for him. And then the last play on the Detroit side, again, it's tough to figure out where everything's going to go on the Detroit side because with the way Williams came on this year, we all know, Laporta at tight end, tight ends have struggled so bad this year, but he's a weapon as well. And they just have a lot of weapons. However, the water's wet. Montgomery, you go to Montgomery. Now, again, I think the safest play is David Montgomery. That's why it's a goblin here. Over rush touchdown. It's just absolutely crazy what he does. All 3 games this year, he has had a rush touchdown. If we go back to last year on that game against Seattle, he had a rush touchdown. Now, I get it. Seattle is ranked 6th in touchdowns against per running back. But this team just gets it done, man. And if they're in the red zone, we're going to see quite a bit of attempts by him in the red zone. First two games, he had 4 attempts in each game, and then he had 2 in the Arizona game. But that's kind of where we're looking at with David Montgomery. Again, once they get down there, they'll put him in, and he usually sniffs the end zone out. He's really good at that. So if you're looking at a safer play here, I like Montgomery, but I think they're still going to throw to him a little bit out of the backfield. So you could look at receptions. I think that is viable. I mean, they've thrown more to him than usual, 4 and 3 catches those 2 games, and he's super efficient, 4 and 3 targets as well. So you can look at that. If you don't want to take the goblin here, you can also go and you can look at fantasy score at 12.5. I still think that is viable. As you can see, he's cleared it in each game that he's played this year. And if we go back and look, he barely cleared it last year, but he had a 13.4 fantasy score against Seattle last year. But again, he's just used so much in this offense. They get down the goal line. Again, that's 6 points for a touchdown. Catch, 3 balls there, you're looking at 9, and then you only need 3.5. Well, I mean, he's going to get maybe 10, 20 yards rushing. So again, I think the fantasy score, if you don't want to take the goblin, you want to take a little bit more risk. That's where I'm kind of leaning at, because if he's going to get in, right, and he gets you 6, and he catches say 2 or 3 balls, puts you at 9, you need 3.5. Say he gets 20 yards receiving on those, then you need 1.5. You only need 20 yards rushing, and he clears it. So that's where I'm at there. So again, if you want to take the safer play, again, I think it's the goblin. If you want to take a little bit more risk involved here, because the 12.5, I feel like he's got to get in the end zone for him to score here. So that's what I'm kind of looking at tonight. Again, you can check out that other video if you have not, with the Tennessee Titans going against Miami and their new quarterback in Huntley. Should be interesting to see what they can do. So again, appreciate you guys. You guys did it. Hit that 600 likes. Appreciate it, man. Hopefully we can continue this run on Monday. But hey, hit that like button on this one. Subscribe to the channel. We'll do our best to keep this train rolling. Like always, I will see you on the flip side. Deuces.